Ukipata pesa kabla ya tabia, hii ndio inakuanga consequences. Hizo vitu mbili zinafaa ziandamane. Kupata pesa inafaa iandamane na wewe kuwa na character ama tabia. Ushaipatana na mtu ama watu kwa life unajiambia, nikiweza pewa chance kama ya ule jamaa, mimi siwezi fanya kitu fulani. And by the way, ushaipatana na situation yenye unapata somebody who is lucky akona pesa lakini hana akili, and opposite or vice versa. Meaning like unapata mtu mwenye akona akili lakini hana pesa. So kitu moja unafaa kuelewa na pesa, ikiwahi ingia kabla wewe mwenyewe kupata tabia, huwa haibadilishi mtu. One thing with money ni ati it usually magnifies that what is inside of you. Let's say you are just an idiot, somebody who doesn't even know how to use the money. Let's say you had a problem with you consuming like 1,000. Let's say ulikuwa unafanya vibarua, ukipata labda your 4,000, 5,000 or 10,000 or whichever the amount of money ulikuwa unapata, you had certain character that was actually coming from nowhere inside of you, and then you pick it up and hata watu hawakuelewi. Ushapatana na mtu mwenye akipata pesa na kuwa strange. Huo mtu akipata pesa is like attitude ina change, anaanza kuwa rude, anaanza kuongea vibaya. He's not even a courtesy akienda kwa hoteli kuitisha chakula. A very simple thing, venye na relate na watu, venye na kubeba wewe mwenyewe, huwa na keep promise immediately after getting money. You get the thing, assuming now you give that individual pesa ama umpe power. This is the problem. Huyu mtu alikuwa na that weakness or he had that specific problem, alright? So what happens ni ati, and I take it to the different level or higher level. What money does, it magnifies that was inside of you. Kwa mfano, what do I mean? Let's say you're out there and you are philanthropist individual, meaning you love helping and you love supporting people each and there, all right? Let me tell you one secret what will happen ukishapata pesa. Most of your family members will be lucky. You know why? Because you will support them, you take them to different levels. You not only give them fish, but you as well show them how to fish. That's a reality. Kuna mtu anaweza pata pesa, unapata that guy ako tu kivyake, he's just mean or she's just mean, he's doing or she's doing their own thing. So kitu moja nafaa kuelewa with life and money is this: ukiwahi pata pesa before a character, that is most dangerous thing. It's good to instill a character way before you getting your money. Let me tell you one secret. If you behave or if you misbehave when you get your 5,000, even if you get $500,000 or if you get yourself 5 million or whichever the amount of money that you have never gotten, that problem will be magnified. And how do you tell you have a weakness? Let's say, you know one thing, I'll hear a lot of people kneeling down and praying to God to get money, but rarely will you ever hear somebody asking for the wisdom. Let me tell you one secret. Whenever you pray to God to get money, always ask Him to accompany it with wisdom, because wisdom is the most amazing thing when you have the money. You know why? Because you understand this is how the money wants, this is what the money doesn't want, and in the process tutafanya vitu ambazo zinastahiki. Personally, I've related with a lot of people and I see how they behave once they get that little money, which they perceive as if to be the highest amount of money that they ever gotten. And what happened is this: you don't want to hear, you don't want to listen to anybody. You presume that just because you've gotten the money, you are the smartest in town. And then even if you want to invest your money, you just want to close door, you don't want to listen to anybody, you don't want to read about anything. The ego and the hubris deep inside of you is controlling you and is telling you, hey, you know what? If you manage to get this money with that kind of a brain, then why else do you need somebody else to come on board and tell you what they should do? In most cases, we're going to develop something that we call the ignorant inside of you. Have you ever seen somebody driving a product or a very big car out there, and you see them behaving in a way that you should be behaving, you driving a Vitz? With all the due respect to a Vitz, I'm just taking it as an example. Let me repeat my point. Have you ever seen somebody driving a very heavy car? What I mean a very heavy car, but that individual's character in terms of overlapping, in terms of behavior, hooting and horning and all those kind of beeping and what have you, resembles an individual who is either a matatu driver or a Vitz or something of sort. Let me tell you one thing. If you have ego or hubris deep inside of you, when you get money, that gets magnified and you actually become a little bit of a funny individual when you're relating with the people in your community or whatever the place that you come in. And this is what I would tell you. If you realize very well you have that character, no need to panic and no need to view yourself as a failure. No, this is what you're supposed to do. Whenever you realize you're about to do something that you know very well this depicts hubris or depicts pride or depicts egocentrism or depicts sort of a braggadocious or something of sort, it is good to hold that back. Whenever you say something or before you say something, tell it to yourself and ask yourself, will this wording or this saying of kind of a things, will it have consequences? And if are they positive or negative consequences, then at that particular point you may choose or not to give out that word or actually retain that word. At that particular moment, you now start controlling yourself and you have in control of yourself. Na ikifikia hapo, you're able to make the appropriate decision. Because the most worrying thing is that you get that money, perhaps it's your lucky time, and then you get that money, put it on the ground with the same character, and then you get yourself into lots of problems. Have you ever seen an individual getting like, let's say talk like 10,000. Let's say you're in a club drinking and the individual gets money, like pops in, and then the individual is out there shouting like, you know what guys, mtu itishe Kenya anataka. You get the thing? There is no problem with that if they surely buy you. But once you do what we call the impulse buying, behaving based on what has just happened the last 3, 2 or 4 days, or even a minute or a month, or whatever the period of time, that is actually very, very dangerous. So it's good to make sure that you retain composure. Composure is the most important thing when it comes to money. Then the other thing, pesa haipendi makelele. That's for sure. There's somebody said that pesa haipendi makelele. Ushaenda kwa bank unapata wao wase waki ushaenda kwa bank unapata kumewekwa radio. There is nothing like that. You know why? Pesa inapenda cool, composed person. Somebody who knows exactly this is what I want. Otherwise, if you go beyond you understanding yourself in that manner, then you can get yourself into problems. These are the things that I would advise you to do once you get money or way before you getting your money, so that at least you don't get yourself into these problems. And guess what? All these problems comes when you get money if you never had the following things. What are the things? Number one, you never learn how to plan about your money. You are financially illiterate, meaning you don't understand how the money works. And let me tell you one secret. Unapatanga watu wengi, they think that they know how money works, but majority of them do not. That's why there is a certain quote, I do not know how the authenticity is it, but somehow it actually bears the truth. Somebody say that if you were to take all the money that is in this world, distribute it equally among all the individuals or the occupants of this earth, that money will stand up in the pockets of the rich. That's for sure. Because money or wealth is more of a character, mentality, approach, discipline, sacrifice, all those things combined together to form a very nice cocktail of called success. That's for a fact. So if you do not have what we call the financial literacy, now how can you tell you don't have a financial literacy? Very simple. Just do this example, or rather do this research, and you can be able to tell whether you have financial literacy. Remember when you've got your first job, right? Maybe you're being paid like 10,000. Maybe it was your attachment. Did you have a problem? Why are you still complaining about being broke and such kind of a things every time? Oh, money is not enough and such kind of a thing. Okay, fine. And then you got a job. You got yourself like 20 G's or 25 G's. And then why are you still complaining about the jobs? What were you complaining about? Why are you complaining about being broke? Money is not enough, and you're wishing getting more money on top of that. Has it never reached a point whereby you say, like, if I was like getting, let's say you were getting 25 and you'd be like, ikizongezewa like 5k if you get 30, but they could do these things. What happened? Now you got your 40,000 there as your salary. You got your 60, you got your 70, you got your 100, you got your million. But you're still complaining of the same problem that you're still complaining when you had your 10,000 shillings. And the type of the problems that you're complaining, it's not what we call the progressive kind of a complaint. You know, there's some things that we call the progressive type of a complaint. Let's say, of course, when you're earning your 10,000 shillings at the end of the month, of course, you aren't in real estate. Let's say you're in real estate because you're earning yourself like 200k, all right? So if the complaint is about like, okay, fine, see, I want to buy cement because I want to complete that, that's okay. That's okay. That's understandable. But if the complaint is about, oh, I'm telling you, the money is not enough, I don't even know where my money is going. For the last 3 years, I've been employed. I've only managed to save like 100 G's or 50 G's. And if you're complaining in that manner, then it tells you that you need to work something, or need to work hard as far as the financial literacy is concerned. Otherwise, ukiendelea hivyo, you're going to get yourself into more problems. Even if today you promised $1 million bob at the end of the month, it's like changing the forest, but the monkey is still the same. You need to work on yourself, the perception, the disciplines, the sacrifices, and consistency. That is the most important things that keeps you going and growing. That's for sure, all right? You know what? The second thing that you're supposed to understand is, of course, when you understand the financial literacy, that comes in with budgeting of your money. Meaning, like, I earn this amount of money, then X plus this goes towards me paying the rent, then plus this, and you know very well, this is the money that should go towards the rent based on how much I earn at the end of the month. This is what goes towards me buying food. This is what goes me towards, paying the black tax and what have you, personal development in terms of you enrolling to that gym, and also entertainment, like your Wi-Fi Wi-Fi and whatever and such kind of things. This is what goes towards the savings and development, investments and what have you. When you understand all those nitty-gritties as far as your money is concerned, rest assured that hardly, I'm not saying you cannot, but hardly will you ever make a mistake when it comes to money. That is good when you get yourself the character way before getting the money. You know what? It is always good to sit down with pen and paper and ask yourself, what if just anything happens? Because let me tell you one thing, the most predictable thing about this life, it's unpredictability, meaning you cannot predict anything, by the way. So the point is this: if you can just sit down with pen and paper and ask yourself, if in any way I managed to get myself like 100G, say that is the money that you've been aiming to get, or maybe let's say your aim is to get like 10 mil, whatever the amount of money that is out there as your target, you ask yourself, what if I was to get that money today? What will I do with it? How will I manage it, and what will I do exactly? Then if you take a pen and paper and write very well exactly, this is what I'll distribute the money, this is how I'll invest the money, then that tells you you've already growing yourself a character deep inside of you. And that means once you get the money, you're gonna have the character with you. And also that means that you're gonna be in a situation whereby you can be able to make a candid decision based on the money that you're getting. That's the truth. Character is built way before getting the money. You cannot be able to build the character after getting the money because you're not real, you're not you. If you had a problem has been magnified, if you had a weakness has been magnified, you had a certain strength has been magnified. That's for a fact. But if you work before you getting the money, by the time you're getting money or when you get the money, then everything becomes okay and good. Because I've seen a lot of people getting the chance, getting the money, then squandering all the entire amount of money, then they go back to square zero. I'll pick a very simple example as I conclude this video. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of a content. I'll give a very simple example. Have you guys got the news about a certain man from, I don't know, Muranga County got like 700 G's and the dude was drinking all over the place and the guy squandered the money within 3 days? Of course, there were complaints that yalinyaganywa and what have you. Of course, if you had the brain, that hardly happens. It's not sort of a day-to-day kind of a thing, all right? So that tells you, you may be old, but still an idiot. That's for sure. So the point is this: it's always good to carry yourself a character all the way when you're young, you know, in terms of the money, also in terms of age, and you grow yourself both being wise and as well being rich. Because if you were to take like 10 rich people here, sample them in terms of their thinking, they are way very, very disciplined. That's why a lot of people tend to complain that the rich are stingy, they are mean, they are whatever, because you are having a perception of consumption. You're so much, the receptors of consumption is so much high with you or in you, to a point whereby you see them not doing so, then you think they are doing it wrong. No, they are not, because they understand how it works, and that's for sure. So anyway, guys, my name is Joseph. If this is the first time you're watching my videos, I want to say thank you if you managed to watch this video up to this particular point. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe. This is a kind of a coffee that you would love to get each and every day. I usually post a video each and every day. Hitting that subscription button on your right, written subscribe, it is in black, and hitting that like button, commenting down below, those are the only qualifications that you need for you to be notified whenever I upload a new good video. And guess what? All those costs nothing, only 1 second, and I bet you reach enough to have that 1 second with you. All right, so for now it's a goodbye. Don't forget to grab my number from the description of this specific video. If you're in need of financial management skills, I got a booklet for it for only $250. You can give me a call or text me on WhatsApp, you get your copy. Or if you would like to have a conversation with me as far as the money management skills are concerned, you can give me a call as well. I have still booklets about investments and what have you, business plans, and you get a copy for only $280. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe.